Hello everyone, are you ready for the second half of the DTM season 2025? We are here at the Nürburgring, the green hell they call it, and it's certainly going to be hot as hell today. At least that's what the weatherman says, with 27 degrees. At the moment it's still a little bit cloudy, almost a bit chilly in a summer dress like this, but I'm sure the heat's going to pick up. And it is certainly in the championship, because the leader of the championship is Lukas Auer, and the top 5 are actually within 8 points. And the man who's third in the championship is this young man here, Jordan Pepper. He's actually the top qualifier this year, because alone with points from qualifying, he collected 10 of them. So he knows how valuable every single point is in the qualifying. There he is. Jordan is about to step into the car, all ready for the qualifying, because obviously he wants to get started here collecting more points, because obviously at this point it's the second half of this season. Whew, it's going to be tight. So everyone hold on tight. Qualifying is about to begin, and here are your commentators.
Thanks very much, Verena. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Thanks very much for joining us for this first qualifying session of the weekend. As Verena said, we're about to get the second half of the season underway. 8 points between the top 5 in the championship. We've still got 224 points up for grabs, 56 points potentially available at each of the remaining 4 events here at the Nürburgring, the Sachsenring in 2 weeks' time, and then next month to the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and then finally to Hockenheim in October. Lukas Auer has held the championship lead since the start of the season. I spoke to him yesterday. He's always smiling, he's always looking relaxed, and he was looking forward to the challenge. Some have had a summer break in the weeks that we've had in between the Nürburgring and this event, but lots of them, like Lukas Auer and Maro Engel, racing in other championships and don't really get time for a break, although not everybody is in that case. Arjun Maini, I spoke to yesterday, looking very relaxed after having a couple of weeks back home in India, catching up with the family. An Austrian driver leads the championship. An Austrian driver is now his nearest rival. Thomas Preining there, the former Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland champion and the winner of the DTM in 2023, moving up to 2nd place in the championship, having started 9th in the championship standings when he arrived at the Nürburgring. A win and a 2nd place, his 3rd win at the Nürburgring, putting him right into the thick of the championship fight, 7 points behind Lukas Auer, tied on points with Jordan Pepper. And there you see that we've got also just 1 point behind them, Jack Aitken, who had a podium finish and a 5th last time out at the Nürburgring, having his best season so far. Maro Engel also on 101 points there, the top 5 in the championship, with René Rast having had a slightly average by his standards weekend, in terms of results at least, at the Nürburgring, a 7th and a 10th. He's a little bit off them, but still very much in contention. 6th place for the 3-time champion. And René, one of the drivers, one of only 2 drivers on the grid that's won more than 1 race around the Nürburgring in the DTM. He's won 3 times here, and we've got 2 wins as well in his championship winning seasons of 2014 and 2016 for René's teammate Marco Wittmann. But Jordan Pepper making history when he got his maiden victory at the Nürburgring, becoming the 100th different driver to win a race in the DTM. And what a week the South African had, just like Nicky Tim in 2024. He won the Spa 24-hour race. One weekend, the next weekend, he got his maiden victory in the DTM. He's also, last weekend, alongside Luca Enxler there, who's his teammate, not just in DTM, but in the GT World Challenge. They got their 2nd win of the season in that championship at Manicourt last weekend. So for Jordan and Luca, who was part of the Spa 24-hour winning squad with Grasser, alongside Jordan Pepper, and Mirko Bortolotti, who was the 3rd driver in the Spa 24-hour winning car. They have had a pretty good build-up to the DTM, but Abt and Lamborghini still looking to gel. Their first season running the Lamborghini, having run for 25 years Audis, and they're still trying to find their feet with that car. And it was so tight yesterday in the free practice session. Everybody covered by a 2nd in free practice too. Mirko Bortolotti was towards the tail end of the times, but he was actually only 7/10 of a second away from the fastest time in the session. So it is going to be, I think, based on what we saw yesterday, an incredibly tight session. We had McLaren 1-2 yesterday in free practice, something we're used to saying in Formula One, something we're not used to saying in DTM, and having swapped cars for the weekend because Timo Glock has been struggling with his McLaren. He swapped to Ben Durr's car. Ben has swapped to Timo's McLaren, and they were 1st and 2nd yesterday with Timo Glock struggling in free practice 1, but absolutely brilliant in free practice 2. Lots of questions to be answered then. 20 minutes of qualifying about to get underway to set the grid for the first race of the weekend. Lots of them heading out. Fabio Scherer still chilling with some tunes there, waiting to go out in his Ford Mustang. So here in the commentary box overlooking the pit lane and the start-finish line, temperature 16 degrees. It's going to be about 26 degrees later if the weather forecast is to be believed. We are here to oversee the qualifying sessions of the races, talk you through all the action. My name's Chris Hartley, and alongside me it's good morning to Brian Oliver.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everybody around the world watching here, ready to be entertained. It's part 2 of the season for the DTM. This is very much a home race for several of the teams. Quite a few of the teams just located across the road from the Nürburgring here, but pretty well all of these drivers will have done many hundreds of laps around this legendary circuit. Here in the sunshine, the circuit, it's a living, breathing animal. It changes as the weather changes, as the rubber is laid down. So despite the drivers knowing this place like the back of their hand, getting it right in this next 18.5 minutes is critical. We've already seen yesterday the entire field in free practice covered by a little over a second, so it needs to be inch perfect for the push lap. At the moment, cars on their installation laps, we expect most of them, if not all of them, to peel off back into the pits to allow the heat that they've just generated in the tyres and in the brakes to soak through those tyres and get them into the right window. Interesting to see Fabio Scherer not in the car to start off with. The Mustangs, we know, they don't have problems getting the tyres into the window. The biggest problem is getting the tyres into the window too quickly. So they are quite easy to heat the tyres up with the Mustang. So Fabio currently out of the car, watching everybody else. I think Arjun Maini has gone out though, hasn't he? So interesting strategies, as predicted. Here they come, back into the pit lane. Is anybody going to stay out? Look like Ben Green might be staying out. Certainly one of the Durr Motorsport McLarens as well.
Yeah, Ben Durr, Timo Glock back into the pit. So theory is get that heat from that outlap soaked into the tyres from the brakes, and then go and hit the trigger. And probably for about 7 or 8 minutes of qualifying, that's when it will get really busy at the end of the session. And you mentioned the Ford Mustangs. Arjun Maini picking up Ford and HRT's best result of the season so far at the Nürburgring with an excellent 5th place. The team, HRT, based just at the back of the circuit, just on the industrial estate, directly over the road. So they are one of the local teams here, and Manthey EMA, who've got loads of guests here this weekend, also a local team. The most established team, of course, in the DTM currently on the grid is Abt, and they have got the best record here in terms of wins. 15 wins they've had here, including their first ever wins in the DTM back in 2001 in the Audi TT, where Laurent Aiello got a pair of victories for them. But they are having 1 or 2 struggles with that Lamborghini so far this year. But they'll keep fighting, Mirko Bortolotti said. I'm going to keep going and going and going. And he said to me, the objective is second half of the season, get a podium on merit, and that's what we're looking to do. It's going to be a long road. They're not expecting to suddenly be switched on and fighting for wins for the second half of the season. So to give you an idea of lap times, yesterday the fastest time in the first free practice session was a 1:26.5. We got down to a 1:26.2 in the second free practice session. But of course, the car's not necessarily at their lightest, which there will be. Less fuel in the car. The lighter the cars, the quicker they'll be in qualifying trim. And they only had 1 set of new tyres that they could use across those free practice sessions yesterday. They have to give those back at the end of Friday. And then for the rest of the weekend, you get 3 sets of new slick Pirelli tyres. And they are to be used across the 2 qualifying sessions and the 2 races. So you can't just bolt a new set of tyres on for the start of every single race, every single session, and after every single pit stop in the races. Qualifying lap record around here, held by Mirko Bortolotti, set 2 years ago in 2023, a 1:25.1, which is over a second quicker than we saw in free practice yesterday. So that is the sort of time they'll all be aiming for when we get down to it. Conditions, Brian, are pretty ideal. It's not so hot yet that it's going to affect the tyres too much.
Team radios, you're
If I can just get the cleaning of the windscreen, but it's inside actually. There is a lot of dust on the windscreen.
I'll do my road car if they want. We've got a hosepipe ban in the UK. So the track is now quiet. Every single car in the pits, just to confirm, Arjun Maini didn't even go out on the formation lap. So yes, the Mustangs not even going through the heat soak sequence. With the Mustangs very much in the front of our minds, those who were watching the ADAC GT Masters here at the Nürburgring a couple of weeks ago, similar conditions to this, in cars that are identical to DTM cars. It was the Mustang that locked out the front row in both of their races. And in race 2, Finn Wiebelhaus and Salman Vega went on to win, scoring Mustang's first ever win in the GT Masters. Interesting, Finn Wiebelhaus's pole position time on the Sunday was a 1:25.294. So that's only a tenth off the lap record that you were saying from a couple of years ago. So Arjun Maini was here watching that event a couple of weeks ago. So certainly Team HRT, who fielded those cars in the GT Masters, were very encouraged. There's good progress being made with that Ford Mustang. So a lot of eyes on this qualifying session. Of course, this is maybe, you could say, a level higher, the real best of the best in GT3 racing, but going to be interested to see what they can achieve in this session. But at the moment, not a lot going on. Every single car silent in the pits. So time to bring out the potter's wheel, I think.
Calm before the storm. One thing you say about the Nürburgring is it's pretty open in terms of which brands and which drivers are able to succeed in. No one brand, no one driver has dominated in recent years. Since the GT3 era of DTM began in 2021, 8 races, 6 different winners. Only the van der Linde brothers managing to win more than 1 race apiece around the Nürburgring. Last year, Kelvin van der Linde in the Audi for Abt was on pole position on Saturday. Maro Engel got pole position on Sunday, and the Winward Mercedes went on to finish on the podium. Maro having a double podium here, but not quite managing to win a race yesterday. He is, however, on a hot streak of consecutive point-scoring finishes. He's now had 25 consecutive point-scoring finishes. Mirko Bortolotti was up to 25 consecutive point-scoring finishes until a DNF put pay for that, and he got involved in a pile-up, as did his teammate Nicky Tim at the Norris Ring. We should also say a very happy birthday to one of our drivers, Nicola Bart, one of our rookies in the championship, driving for the Come To You Racing squad with the Aston Martin. He is celebrating his 24th birthday today, so happy birthday to Nicola. I hope he has a good day. And the Aston Martins both now point scorers in the championship. All of the drivers have scored points in the championship already this year. We've had 12 different drivers on the podium, 6 different race winners, 6 different drivers on pole position from the 4 weekends that we have had so far this season. Right, we're down to the last 12 minutes of the session. This is where they'll start to pick things up. Timo Glock, though, in this car. So the story is, Brian, that they've switched cars because he's been struggling, hasn't he, with the car they had driven, the old car from last year. He switched to the new car that Ben has been racing this year, and it went well yesterday for him. But while we're waiting for the cars to get up to speed, let's hear from Verena.
And I'm here with Martin Tomczyk. Martin, just quickly, it took a while for the cars to get started for the qualifying. Can you maybe just explain to the viewers why you guys take your time?
Well, obviously that's out-in procedure. What we saw already in the past years and the past races means that the cars go out slowly for 1 lap, heating up the brakes, and the brakes obviously now heating up the tire to get the performance into the tire. So that's a usual procedure that everyone follows, and now they go out after being 5 minutes in a box, and now you see all the cars going out and trying to do their best out there.
Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you. Back to you.
Thanks, Verena. Yeah, good to get the insight there from the team principal at Abt, former DTM champion Martin Tomczyk, a double winner here at the Nürburgring in 2007-2009 when he was behind the wheel himself. So now turned team principal. And as I say, with Abt, the very much family-run, family-orientated team, they will be looking to push on in the second half of the season. They're first in the DTM with the Lamborghini, not their first time running Lamborghinis, because they've had 3 runs with a Lamborghini in the Nürburgring 24-hour race now around the Nordschleife. So go back to Timo Glock, Brian. He's waiting for actually a brand new McLaren, isn't he? But meantime, they've decided to switch cars.
Yes, so he is running the car that Ben Durr has been running for this season, and Ben Durr is in what was the unloved McLaren that Timo Glock was running and was struggling with, but Ben really seemed to be quite at home with it yesterday. We're expecting a new McLaren to be coming to the Durr Motorsport team. Originally, they said it was going to be for this round, but getting the car together and produced at Woking in the UK is more than the work of a moment. Now looks like it's probably going to be the end of August, so they're going to have a new car for Timo Glock, potentially for the last couple of rounds at the Red Bull Ring, certainly. But I think looking at the times yesterday, they can keep that up to date. They might want to just leave things exactly as they are, because Timo Glock looked very dialed in FP2. He struggled a bit in FP1, but in FP2 he looked very dialed in. Ben Durr was looking comfortable as well. So maybe, well, cancel the order for the new McLaren. That's what I say.
I'm not sure they'll be able to cancel. It's been built now, so I'll have to take it. But yeah, they've stripped it down. They've tried to find what the issue is. It's been proven to be slower. Timo went into that car for pre-season, as we see Mirko Bortolotti and Max Powell having a bit of Lamborghini love, getting very close together.
That's not love.
Did they maybe make contact or maybe just avoided it? But Mirko found his way past former Nürburgring race winner here in the DTM, Max Powell, in wet conditions, his one win in the DTM. But yeah, Ben Durr, I spoke to him actually after that first practice, and I said, well, you're going to keep this car then, you're happy with that? Because he was second in free practice 1. Then he went second in free practice 2 as well, and he said, yeah, it's all good, I'm pretty happy with that. Did you notice much difference between the cars? He said, no, not really. So he was happy with that one, but maybe it's just a case of certain cars just suit certain driver styles a little bit better, and no two cars, even with the same components, built in the same factory, run by the same team, are absolutely identical. Maybe it just doesn't quite suit Timo. They've been desperately trying to find out what the issue has been. The swap cars pre-season test, and Timo drove Ben's car and went half a second quicker, and vice versa. Ben drove Timo's car and went half a second slower. So they've been sure there's been an issue with last year's car. They've ordered this new car, but they're going to try and swap around this weekend. And so far, you have to say, it has been working for them. Right, 7 3/4 minutes to go. Qualifying now really about to begin in earnest. It's 3.6 kilometres around this circuit. And just for your info, we divide the lap into 3 sectors so we can track the times, lap times of the drivers as they go. So sector 1 takes in obviously the start-finish line down through the AMG Arena, where they go down to first gear from 250 kilometres an hour at the end of this start-finish straight, down to 70 kilometres an hour through the right-hander, go second gear through turn 2, about 115 kilometres an hour, tight turn 3 from 170 down to 75 kilometres an hour. Then it opens up. They come out of the AMG Arena with a right-hander through turn 4, a back straight where they get up to 200 kilometres an hour again. Then they turn off the full Grand Prix circuit because we use the slightly shorter sprint version of the circuit. And coming out of turn 5, the hairpin, that's where sector 1 ends. Sector 2 is the shorter sector, as Tom Callender posts the first meaningful time, a 1:26.6, but they'll get much quicker than that. Sector 2 takes in the left at turn 6, which is quick, third gear, around about 130 kilometres an hour. The right then at turn 7, the Bilstein curve, where they go onto the back straight. Critical to get a good exit there, because then you're going uphill, right through turn 8, but flat out through Falkenbogen. Sector 2 ends before you get to the chicane. And then you do 250 kilometres an hour again. You stand on the brakes into sector 3, left then right through the Vidal chicane, and 2 right-handers to end the lap through sector 3. So that's the way the lap is divided up, and we should be looking at times in the 1:25s if all conditions are to their absolute most positive for the drivers. And that's the sort of lap times we should be looking at for pole position, potentially. So still building up. Absolute best first sector has gone to 2-time DTM race winner this year, Anjan Guven, the Turkish driver, in the green Manthey EMA Porsche with a 43.7 through the first sector. We were 44s at the best through the first sector yesterday. So this is looking like it might be potentially the first 1:25 lap, and he's done the absolute best second sector.
Oh.
Trouble is, Brian, there's traffic ahead.
Oh, look at them all, because everybody's backing up, trying to get space for their lap. Anjan Guven, he's definitely compromised out of that final corner. He'll be very, very frustrated about that. You saw him flashing the lights, but everybody trying to find space. The track is 3.6 kilometres around, but getting 24 cars, and all of them are out there on the track with space between them, and that really compromises that. Although 1:25.9 is good, but he's used valuable rubber when the tyres were in the window, and that was not as quick as he would have liked. Meanwhile, Timo Glock has responded. Personal best in Sector 1, best of anybody in Sector 2. Thomas Preining, now he's pulled the pin. He's looked like a man on a mission all the way through 3 practice sessions. So he's the quickest in Sector 1. Personal best in Sector 2. Best of anybody in Sector 3. Best of anybody overall. 125.785.
Yeah, it feels like that's probably the sort of lap time Guan was on for, a 127.7. I reckon he lost a couple of tenths easily through that last corner. Engel personal best, but they're not far up for absolute bests. So Preining with a 125.7, but here's one of last year's pole sitters, Maro Engel. He's backed off out of it though, so started the lap well, he backs off, tries to give himself a bit of space, and he'll go again with 4 minutes 20 seconds to go. So Engel then, 5th in the championship, charges over the line to go again. Timo Glock, though, absolute best first sector at 43.6 in the white and blue, number 16 at McLaren. So he's charging, but also Ricardo Feller, who had a problem with the car yesterday in free practice 2. It stopped, had to push it down the pit lane, lost a load of time in free practice 2, got back out at the end and went 4th quickest. So Ricardo Feller one to watch as well, the absolute best first sector time. Guan's gone through, he's 4th at the moment. Pepper now, absolute best first sector time of 43.9. Timo Glock about to come through the line, 3rd quickest, 125.8. But it's super tight. Lucas Auer has gone 2nd, so the championship leader is 2nd. The driver 2nd in the championship is 1st, and there's only 60 thousandths of a second at the moment between the top 3. What about Ricardo Feller then in the land? Audi goes through, he goes quickest, 125.6 for Ricardo on his first flying lap, but there's still more to come. Lucas Auer now sets the absolute best first sector time. What can Bortolotti do on his first lap? He's about to come through, and the reigning champion goes 7th.
So with the track arguably getting quicker and quicker, it may well be those who pull the pin last in this session who have the best shot at pole position. At the moment, Thomas Preining to the top at 125.610. You can see that Lucas Auer once again a personal best in Sector 1, best of anybody in Sector 2, but now Thierry Vermeulen also responding. Best of anybody in Sector 1, personal best in Sector 2, so the Ferrari coming into it as well in the closing stages, but Lucas Auer goes quickest, 125.276, so really bringing it down. But here comes Thierry Vermeulen. How is this going to fare compared to Lucas Auer? Across the line he goes, 2nd, 125.409.
Ben Green was briefly on provisional pole position. He's 4th 20 seconds later because of Auer's improvement, Vermeulen's improvement, and also Jules Gounon. He's 3rd quickest now, but Ben Green going well, 4th place for him. Maro Engel 5th, improved. Nicky Tim is in 6th place. We haven't seen the Ferrari of Jack Aitken pull the pin yet, but he's just doing it now. 43.299 through the first sector. Absolute best first sector then for the British driver that's 4th in the championship. So he is now on a charge. He's about to go into the Vidal chicane. He's done the absolute best second sector as well. So he's the next one to watch. His teammate is already 2nd. We had 2 podiums for Emil Frey Racing with Jack Aitken and Thierry Vermeulen in the last race at the Nürburgring. Aitken then on a charge here, looking to go through and get himself onto provisional pole position. It's looking good. He goes across the line and goes quickest by just over a tenth, 125.155 seconds. And Luca Engstler has now gone 2nd quickest with Ben Green improving his time as well. He goes 3rd. So all 3 Emil Frey Racing Ferraris are in the top 5. Aitken 1st, Green in 3rd, and Vermeulen in 5th.
1.25 minutes remaining of this session. Thierry Vermeulen, personal best in Sector 1 and Sector 2. He's in 6th place at the moment. Is he going to improve on that? He comes across the line, 2nd. So now Ferrari, 1, 2 and 4. Emil Frey really getting a setup here. Only Luca Engstler splitting all 3 of the Ferraris. We've got less than a minute remaining of this session. We're looking at Ricardo Feller, personal best in Sector 2. Hasn't improved though in Sector 1. It was personal best. Has improved in Sector 2. Aitken going quicker still. Purple in Sector 1. So still more to come from Jack Aitken. At the moment, a Ferrari front row.
Aitken heading up the back straight. He's about to go through the timing beam at the end of the 2nd sector. It's a 21.373, but it's pretty close to his best. He Gets an update from his team and from the engineer. Absolute best sector 1, only a tiny bit down in sector 2. He's already on provisional pole, but only by 46 thousandths of a second. Can he extend his advantage with 12 seconds left on the clock? He's about to go through, and it's a 125.227. So another good lap, but not quite as good as the one he'd done before. So maybe the tyres at their absolute best have now given up on him. Checker flag comes out. It's okay though, because he's on provisional pole position, and we got Lucas out trying to improve from 5th place, but it ain't gonna happen. So 5th place as Lucas Auer takes the checkered flag. He's had 3 poles here, and Lucas Auer got his first ever pole in the DTM at this track 10 years ago, back in 2015. So Ferrari 1-2. They are on fire at the moment with a great weekend at the Nürburgring as well, even though they didn't get the win. And the team now know that the job is done. Jack Aitken has nailed it. Pole position with a 125.155. Just a whisker away from the lap record, the qualifying lap record of a 125.118 set by Mirko Bortolotti. He had to push hard, though, to keep behind him his teammate Thierry Vermeulen, the Dutch driver, just 46 thousandths of a second behind him. Luca Engstler with 3rd place, only 57 thousandths of a second behind as well. Ben Green in 4th best qualifying of the year so far, although he was, of course, on pole position provisionally until the car was found to be slightly underweight. The season opener at Oschersleben. Lucas Auer 5th, Jules Gunn 6th, Ben Durr in 7th in the McLaren, doing a good job again, less than 2 tenths away from pole. Maro Engel 8th, Jordan Pepper will be a fraction disappointed with 9th, 4 tenths of a second away. And then Thomas Preining also, I think, will be a bit disappointed with that, 4 tenths away, 10th place. Ricardo Feller 11th, Nicky Tim in 12th on similar lap times as well. Timo Glock, not where he wanted to be, but it's a step forward. It's his best qualifying of the season so far. He goes 13th quickest.
Wow, what a great session. How quick are the Emil Frey Racing Ferraris looking? But for Luca Engstler, would have locked out the top 3 places. A replay of how hard Jack Aitken was assaulting those curbs through the chicane, using all of the track to extract every last bit of lap time out of it. 125.155. What a scorching time that is. 125.201 to Thierry Vermeulen.
Second pole position of the year then for Jack Aitken. As you see, confirmation of the top 10 times as I gave them to you. Now, 3 points available for qualifying on pole, 2 for second, 1 for third. And with none of the 3 drivers ahead of him scoring points in qualifying, Jack Aitken, 3 points scored, goes from 4th up to 2nd in the championship. 101 points becomes 104 points. He moves ahead of Jordan Pepper, and he moves ahead of Jordan Preining. So double success there with the pole position, but also with the valuable points for the British driver, and he secures that pole position. There's the rest of the runners. Ricardo Feller 11th, Nicky Tim 12th, Timo Glock a step forward in 13th, Marco Wittmann 14th, Engin Nguyen 15th, Gilles Magnus 16th, René Rast back in 17th place, Arjun Maini 18th, and Max Powell in the Lamborghini 19th. Mirko Bortolotti, like he was in free practice 2 yesterday, only 7 tenths of a second away from pole, but it bangs you down in 20th place in this championship. Fabio Scherer 21st, Maurice Skeuring 22nd, Tom Callender 23rd, and Nicola Bart on his birthday 24th. And Brian, 0.98 seconds, less than a second between the entire field as we get confirmation of Jack Aitken moving up to second place in the championship. Lucas Auer still leads, but his championship lead now reduced to just 5 points.
I cannot remember a time when the entire field was separated by a little over 9 tenths of a second. That's got to be one of the closest fields we've had in recent times, if not ever. That just shows how critical it was to have the tyres in the window and to do the big push lap at exactly the right time. It looks like Emil Frey did their homework after free practice. They were looking quick yesterday, but I don't think it was on that many people's bingo cards this morning that they would have 3 cars in the top 4. Luca Engstler, the only infiltrator in that little party, but a great job from Luca, who was a bit grumpy after the Nürburgring, it has to be said, but he's certainly making up for it here at the Nürburgring.
Right, there's a very happy Jack Aitken. Let's go down to the pit lane, get some reaction with Verena.
And I'm here with Thierry Vermeulen. Well done with P2, but you just said your first reaction was, well, just missed pole by 1 slight bit.
Yeah, first of all, I mean, to the team, 2 cars again on the front, similar to Nürburgring, and this is really what they worked so hard for. So big thanks to them. On my own side, yeah, of course, when the gaps are so small, you know, you can still get a bit out of it, but for sure it's the same for everyone. So all in all, happy. We have another qualifying tomorrow, and I'll be sure to go for pole then.
But first, we have a race here, so hopefully you can do really well there.
Yeah, exactly. The race is, of course, where the points come, so looking forward to it.
All right, Thierry, thank you so much. Back to you.
Thanks, Verena. Yeah, good to see Thierry going well. He's really improved. Look at that hair. I'm so jealous. Fantastic hair from Nicky Tim. Not, I'm afraid, a fantastic qualifying. Not too bad. 12th place, only 0.4 of a second away. Super slow-mos of your top three then. Luca Engstler coming through 3rd place. That's his equal best qualifying of the year. I'm going to get some more now from Verena in the pit lane.
And I've got Luca Engstler here with a big smile on his face. At least you did 2 seconds ago, because P3, obviously, you're very happy with, especially after Nürburgring didn't go so well. So now it's a fantastic start of the second half of the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, not only Nürburgring, we had a tough season. A lot of DNFs got taken out a few times, and it just didn't go as planned. And yeah, made a big cut now in the middle of the season, starting from 0, and now just trying to enjoy the best job on planet Earth with a great team, a cool bunch of people around me, and just enjoying.
And Nürburgring, is that one of your favorite tracks?
To be honest, I hate the Nürburgring. I don't like the sector 1. I used to be 3/10 off every first sector, but seems like we changed.
Hopefully today's going to be a good day and you're going to have a good race.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Back to you.
Brilliant. I hate the place. Well, you're 3rd quickest. Might be a love-hate relationship at the end of the
Not
weekend.
in the script.
No, fantastic. Always brutally honest, isn't he, Luca? But it's
amazing.
great to hear him say, yeah, I've got the best job in the world. Actually, really appreciating what he gets to do for a living. He's a really top guy, Luca. Good to see him up there. 3rd, as I say, he's equal best qualifying of the year. 46 thousandths of a second between the 2 Ferrari drivers, Aitken and Vermola. And that's not even the closest gap we've had this year. That was 8 thousandths of a second at Zandvoort. A great qualifying then. Let's go back to Verena.
And I'm here with Jack Aitken. Well done. Pole position. It's your 2nd pole position. So hopefully you're going to turn it into a win in just a little bit in the race.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, it's a great result for the team. We're locked out the front row, and Ben's up there again as well, which is nice to see. And they just built a really awesome car. We were testing here a couple of weeks ago. Everything's working really nice. It feels smooth. The track was really quick today, so over the moon. And I hope, yeah, we can have as good a result in the race.
And now let me find out, what do you think of the Nürburgring? Do you love the Nürburgring, especially with results like this?
Yeah, of course. You know, the past years I was always close to be on the podium, but I never managed it. I really love this place. The atmosphere is always amazing because, of course, you have such a legendary circuit here. You always get a lot of fans, a lot of British fans coming over, which is nice to see. So I really love it, and it's nice to finally get a really good result there.
All right, so hopefully let's see you later on the podium. Thank you so much, Jack. And finally, a man who loves the Nürburgring. That's what we love to hear. So, yeah, we can't wait for the race. See you in a little bit. And now here are the highlights. Enjoy.